Hi, my name is Andy Zapata, and I'm the UIL test writer for the middle school mathematics test. I'd like to share some information to you um, about the nature of the contest, the content, some of the rules, and work out some sample problems as well as show you some resources toward the end of my presentation that might help you in becoming a better mathematics contest competitor. So let's go straight into my PowerPoint and I'll share that with you. Okay, well again, my name is Andy Zapata and it's written there for you. And there's my email address in case you wish to contact me and ask me some more questions about this particular contest. Okay. First of all, students begin taking math in elementary school and continue taking uh, math and learning about math all the way through high school and in a lot of cases through college. Learning to complete the math problems quickly is a valuable skill in all facets of life, including engineering, accounting, completing a tax return, and even in grocery shopping. This contest contains problems including, but they're not limited to, the numeration system, the basic arithmetic operations involving whole numbers, decimals, rational numbers, and so on, including some probability and statistics and a little number theory interest and some conversions. Geometry and Algebra 1 questions are sometimes included in there because they're in some school districts in the state of Texas that is appropriate for them to know. Now, the problem types are not bound by the current Texas assessment of or essential knowledge and skills elements, primarily because the UIL contest problems tend to extend the knowledge requirements of the general classroom. The contest has 50 multiple choice questions, and there is a time limit of 40 problems. At this level of competition, there are not calculators allowed, okay? At the high school level there are, but not at this particular level. Since no calculators are allowed, um, the problems themselves tend to be ones where mental math shortcuts may be useful. So if a student were to learn some number sense shortcuts, then that would certainly be of help to them in this contest. Okay. Also note that the breadth of the material covered makes this very difficult to finish in the 40 minutes that are available. Okay, so here's a sample test. Um, there's normally some problems that involve simple calculations. Um, some of them, as you'll see in a little bit, lend themselves to some mental math shortcuts. But this is page 1 and 2, and then page 3 and 4, there's a basic geometry problem there. And then through problem number 50, okay? So 50 questions, okay, of general math nature. Now here's a sample problem. Adding what looks like to be even numbers, even whole numbers, from 2 to 16. Now a way to solve that could be to simply list out all the numbers. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, and then 12 plus 8 is 20, and so on. And if you do that correctly, then the answer comes out to be 72, or answer A. That would be one way to do that problem, to solve that problem. Perhaps a number sense shortcut for consecutive even numbers. Here's a formula, and it says to divide the last number by 2, multiply the quotient of that, step number 1, by the quotient plus 1. So for this problem, 16 divided by 2 would be 8. And then 8 times 8 plus 1, or 9, would be 72. And that might be a little bit shorter way of doing that. Okay? Here's another sample problem where knowing some mental math might be of help. How many whole numbers will evenly divide into 24? Okay? Well, one way is to list out all the numbers, the whole numbers from 1 to 24, and then start to pick out the ones that evenly divide into 24, like these that I've circled, and then count them up. And if you count correctly, then the number would be 8. Okay? That would be one way. A mental shortcut for the sum of, the number of numbers that divide evenly into a given number would be to prime factor that number, add 1 to the powers of those factors, and then multiply the new powers. Okay? So 24 is equal to 2 to the third power times 3 to the first. So if you add 1 to those powers, it looks like this. And then, of course, 3 plus 1 is 4, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 4 times 2 would be 8. And, you can probably easily see that if there were a larger number than 24, that it might be really useful to remember this shortcut. 83 1/3% of 6 is what number? Wow. Okay, well, 83 1/3%, if you change that into a fraction, would be 250 over 300. And so then, if you take 250 300ths and multiply it by 6, then it comes out to be 5. What might be quicker, what would be quicker, is that if you knew that the number sense shortcut, or memorizing that 83 1/3% is equal or equivalent to the fraction 5/6, then it would simply be 5/6 times 6. And of course, that again is just equal to 5. So in number sense, there are some fraction, decimal, percent equivalents that should be memorized to help the student get through that test quickly. Okay, well, it's also true for the mathematics contest. It's not that you have to have them, but if you just knew that particular shortcut, that would certainly help in saving time for this test. Okay, so here's another problem. This is an Algebra 1 problem. It's a function, and it's asked to evaluate that function at the number 12. Now, one way to do that would certainly be to substitute 12 in where the x is, okay? And so if you do that, then it comes out to be 144 minus 168 plus 49. And of course, you should be able to do that, and you end up with 25. Another way of looking at that is that to recognize that this is a quadratic function of the form a minus b, the quantity squared, where a would be the x value and b would be 7. So if you do that, then it would be 12 minus 7 and that quantity squared. And of course, 12 minus 7 is 5. 5 squared is just 25. So knowing some mental number sense shortcuts certainly could help in going through the mathematics contest more quickly. And that's not just true for this the middle school level of competition, but it's also very much true for the high school mathematics contest. Okay? I hope this is of some use to you. I hope it will help you in your preparation for this particular contest. And I hope that you're successful during this year learning more math as you compete. And so I bid you goodbye, and hopefully take care of yourself this year.